All right, folks, we're going live in 5, 4, 3. Good evening and welcome to the study session of the City Council of the City of Moreno Valley, Moreno Valley Community Services District, City as successor agency for the Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Moreno Valley, Moreno Valley Housing Authority, Moreno Valley Public Financing Authority, and the Board of Library Trustees. The City Council receives a separate stipend for CSD meetings. I now call this meeting to order on April 11th, 2023 at 6:04 p.m. The Pledge of Allegiance will be led by me, and we have no invocation today, so we'll go ahead and get started with the Pledge of Allegiance. You would please join me, put our hands over our hearts. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible. Thank you. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Baca, Santa Cruz.
Here.
Councilmember Marcus is absent. Councilmember Bernard.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Delgado.
Here, ma'am.
And Mayor Cabrera.
Here. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Staff introductions, please.
Jane Halstead, City Clerk.
Jasmine Rivera, Executive Assistant to the Mayor and Council Office.
Stephen Quintanilla, Interim City Attorney.
Mike Lee, City Manager.
Brian Mohan, Assistant City Manager, Chief Financial Officer, City Treasurer.
Michael Lloyd, Assistant City Manager for Development Services.
Manuel Mancha, Community Development Director.
Melissa Walker, Director of Public Works.
Jeremy Bubnick, Parks and Community Services Director.
Lieutenant Tyson Voss from the Sheriff's Department.
Thank you very much, staff. That brings us to public comments on matters on the agenda only. A reminder that today is a study session and the public comments will be limited to only the two topics that are on our agenda today, which we will get to in just a moment. Each person shall be allowed a total of 3 minutes to comment on each item on this study session agenda. However, if there are a large number of speakers, we will possibly reduce the number of time per speaker so that the council can complete its business during this meeting. If a total time limit is placed on public comments for any given item, each person shall be provided with the same amount of time. Before we hear public comments this evening, I ask and encourage everyone participating to keep their comments respectful toward others, especially toward the individual speaking. I embrace and support the First Amendment right to free speech, including everyone's right to speak at this meeting and to share their views about issues concerning our city, but we can be more productive by being civil and respectful toward one another in this meeting. Finally, I ask that speakers bear in mind that comments will be limited for each speaker, and I encourage everyone to refrain from duplicating comments already made by others, other than to note that you agree or disagree with the prior comments. In order to preserve the meeting decorum, council and staff will not respond during public comments. Madam Clerk, are there any requests to speak?
There are no requests to speak, Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. So we will move on to item A on our agenda, which is business items. And the first item that we will be discussing, and real quick before we get into that, before I forget, just a quick reminder, we already moved past the public comment period, but if anyone does need a translator for any reason, we do have a translator here as well. Thank you, staff, for reminding me about that. Si alguien necesita traducir lo que van a decir hoy, tenemos a alguien aquí que los pueden ayudar. Por favor, nos avisan. So the first order of business, or the first item we have here, is the Business and Employment Resource Center, also known as the BERC, looking at the services and programs provided by the BERC. And we have a report from our Economic Development Department.
Sure. Thank you, Mayor, Member City Council. For this presentation, I have Keith Gimmel, who is the Business and Workforce Development Division Manager, to give the presentation. Thank you.
All right. Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. It's a pleasure to be here to talk about the Moreno Valley Business and Employment Resource Center, or as we all know it as, the BERC. And just a little history about the BERC. It opened it first in 2009 by the Riverside County Workforce Development Board in the height of the Great Recession. In 2015, the city took it over as the primary operator, still in partnership with the county. However, to make sure that we were ensuring good quality local jobs existed here in Moreno Valley and that we had a trained workforce to provide support to our local businesses. We've been able to do so to foster great economic growth since that time, and we've been able to prove that with nearly 30,000 jobs created in the last 10 years. Tonight's presentation will cover what the BERC is and some of the strategies that we use to stimulate economic growth, specifically through business retention and workforce development programs. And I hit the mute button, sorry about that. All right, here we go. All right, so the BERC is run by our Economic Development Department, as you've already stated, and it's located in a storefront retail space at the Towngate Shopping Plaza. The BERC serves the community through in-person and virtual programs with two primary areas of focus, specifically with businesses and job seekers. One of our more popular and impactful services are listed here on the screen, and all of our programs, I should say, are offered for free, and many of them are offered in both English and Spanish. The BERC can't operate without the help of our partners, and so we're very grateful for the fact that we have on-site several that come in for either half-day or part days, but we do have 3 partners that are dedicated there with offices every single day, and that's Moreno Valley College, Riverside County's Workforce Development Board, staff, and Cal Baptist University. And running that center is, from the city side, we have 4 full-time staff members, including myself. We're proud of the fact that the BERC never closed its doors during the COVID-19 pandemic. While other agencies were struggling to figure out what to do, we were there open on the front lines every single day, and we were the only job center that was open within at least a 70-mile radius, servicing job seekers, unemployed workers, and businesses from across all of Southern California. In 2021, we saw a great designation for us where the California Workforce Development Board recognized the center as an America's Job Center of California. And to this day, it's still the newest center for the state, so we're excited for that. And this designation came basically in recognition of all the hard work and dedication that we've done for not only Moreno Valley residents, but also people in the region. Last year, just some facts here on some of the great accomplishments our staff was able to make was we serviced nearly 22,000 customers, hosted 60 hiring events, including 3 regional job fairs, hosted 225 business and job seeker related workshops, promoted over 20,000 job openings, and served 207 unique Moreno Valley businesses specifically at the BERC through either hiring assistance or training support. Now, the rest of this presentation, I'm going to go over some of the strategies we use to provide these programs. On the screen here is the first of those 2 categories, business retention and business development. Now, please note when we use the term business, we describe that as any organization that wants to provide services or a product. This can include entrepreneurs, small businesses, major employers, and nonprofits. That being said, we serve both for-profit and nonprofit businesses in the same way, with the same resources and the same training. We are committed to helping all businesses grow and succeed, and we believe that every business has the potential to make a positive impact on our community, and we're very pleased to be a part of that journey with them. We do so by offering a variety of services to help businesses succeed, and here are 6 key category or areas that we do so, and I'm going to talk about each of those throughout the presentation. This first one here is technical assistance. We provide technical assistance through the BERC with our award-winning Small Business Wednesdays workshop series, which features weekly workshops offered in person and online for businesses and nonprofits. Some of the popular topics include how to start a business, social media marketing, access to capital, and how to do business with the city. These workshops are provided in partnership with other subject matter experts in business development, such as Small Business Majority and Small Business Development Center, or the SBDC. We've had a long relationship with SBDC, and they actually provide on-site consulting with one-on-one with small business owners and future budding business owners every Wednesday at the BERC to either start a business or grow their business. We also host training to help businesses prepare for economic downturns and disasters through our BERT, our Business and Emergency Resiliency Training Program, twice a year. Next, we provide a wide host of incentives to businesses through our Hire MoVal program. This program is an umbrella program which has several different initiatives to help local businesses through either cash incentives or event support at the BERC. For instance, local businesses can use the BERC for free to host hiring events and conduct training seminars at the BERC. We provide them free classroom space. We also will help market their programs as well. And we also can help Moreno Valley businesses get rewarded when they employ local residents. For example, they get cash incentives when they hire local graduates and when they hire local veterans. They also can get discounts on their MVU utility rates and business license fee if more than 40% of their workforce is Moreno Valley residents. Next, we help support local talent be found and get jobs here through our recruitment assistance. This is done in a couple different ways. Our online job board, we're very proud of that. It features Moreno Valley job opportunities with over 100 businesses highlighted for part-time and full-time work each week. And we make sure that we update by calling these businesses to make sure that the postings are accurate every other week. So you can guarantee that when you look at this MoVal job board that things are accurate and ready for the job seeker to look at. We also push out e-blasts through our digital marketing campaigns called Job Alerts. And these go out promote local job opportunities to our 30,000 plus job seeker database. And we host dozens of hiring events, including regional job fairs to job seekers and to help Moreno Valley businesses find those local top talent. We also partner with the county to provide applicant screening for some of the smaller businesses that may not have a full HR department. And so that helps them expedite their process and manage their services as well. Next is business retention. Here we focus on keeping and helping businesses grow in town. We don't want them to leave. We want them to excel and expand. We do this through a variety of programs aimed at meeting what the businesses need by meeting directly with them and learning what they need. We also work closely with both the Moreno Valley Chamber of Commerce and the Moreno Valley Hispanic Chamber of Commerce to provide additional support, whether that's outreach or working with them on ribbon cuttings and things of that nature. We also, through all these interactions, compile and understand what kind of things they need. What are the training programs or workforce needs that they need today and in the future to help plan and support them in that. Entrepreneurship is one of our fastest growing areas at the Burke. We support local and budding entrepreneurs by providing a variety of workshops on financing, branding, and design thinking. We also provide consulting through the CBU, or Cal Baptist University Family Business Center. And starting soon, thanks to Council's recent approval of the MOU, we'll be providing on-site consulting for entrepreneurs at the Burke through UC Riverside's EPIC program. In addition to all these programs, we offer several different resource areas for business. One of those that's really exciting is our Business Spotlight program. This is a free recognition program designed to create an awareness and highlight local businesses. And basically, it's a 30-second commercial spot that our award-winning media team helps us to produce for them. We also have a small business resource guide that highlights step-by-step processes on how to create a thriving company here in town with different resources. Again, for whatever stage a business is, whether they're starting out as an entrepreneur or a mature business, and that's available in both print and digital format. We also connect them with Moreno Valley College's iMake Innovation Center if they're looking for designing prototypes or creating new products. And we also, most importantly, have dedicated staff that is a business liaison who visits directly with small businesses and assists me with visiting with major businesses to check in on them and see how we can support them, what resources they may need, and make sure that we're there for them. And 2022, we were able to visit directly with over 1,000 businesses in town at each of their locations. Now, on the other side of our shop, we have workforce development. Like business development, workforce development is a vital part of our city's economic growth and ensures the quality of life for our residents. Our workforce programs help to reduce poverty and inequality by providing opportunities for people to improve their skills and earn higher wages. Ultimately, improving the quality of life in Moreno Valley by providing residents with the skills they need to find good jobs and support themselves and their families. Having a skilled workforce also attracts quality employers, helping to grow the creation of wealth and opportunities for Moreno Valley residents in the long run. Our workforce development programs, like business development, can be described in 6 key areas as shown here on the screen. And the first of that is job readiness training. This is done through weekly workshops to help teach the most in-demand skills. Currently, residents benefit from resume writing, interview skill workshops, digital literacy, financial wellness, and a dozen other workshop topics on-site at the Burke or online through our webinar training. We also are a Grow with Google partner. And what that means is we have access to exclusive support that we provide to our residents and businesses through Google's design curriculum, specifically designed for businesses, job seekers, veterans, and justice-involved individuals. The Burke has also been featured in Grow with Google's national newsletter and named a high impact partner for the last 2 years. So we've been able to do some really great work with them. Next is Apprenticeship, and this is an exciting pathway that's new and up and coming. It provides job seekers with an opportunity to get paid as they go to school and learn on the job. Burke staff hosts several events each year to promote local apprenticeships opportunities through our National Apprenticeship Week webinars and our annual Apprenticeship Expo. Each year, this expo attracts several hundred high school students and members of the public from across the Inland Empire who gain direct access to apprenticeship opportunities. And the Burke is also an ambassador to local employers. This is done by promoting traditional and non-traditional apprenticeship opportunities available through Moreno Valley College, the Launch Apprenticeship Network, and a whole host of other educational partners that we work with. Speaking of educational partners, we want to make sure that we provide the best opportunities for upskilling to our customers and our residents. So we work diligently to connect job seekers with educational opportunities. Our most popular service for this is our career coaching service. Through this program, customers receive one-on-one coaching at the Burke, where they can review resumes, have mock interviews, and enroll in federally funded training programs. We also offer a Career Day Academy 4 times a year, which provides an interactive and upfront look at some of Moreno Valley's exciting major businesses. This provides an opportunity for local college and high school students to attend these sessions and learn about various career opportunities and pathways that are right here in their hometown, Moreno Valley. And to ensure no opportunity is ever missed, the Burke partners and provides access to educational opportunities through office hours at our center and holds regular information sessions with partners like California Baptist University, Moreno Valley College, Youth Opportunity Center, and the Moreno Valley Community Adult School, and many more. Veterans are another component of our workforce programs, and they're very dear to us at the Burke and a very important part of our community here. Burke works with several regional partners to provide top-notch services to our veterans, to provide office hours at the Burke for easy access to their benefits as well as other resource programs. In addition, every second Tuesday of the month is called our Veteran Tuesday, and that's where we focus all programs that can be benefited towards helping veterans and their families. For example, today was Veteran Tuesday, and we had a couple different partners in there, like US Vets and Moreno Valley College, to provide office hours for them, and we had a federal resume writing workshop that is good for veterans for that. We're also excited to be, skip the slide there. We're also excited to be hosting our first annual Veterans Resource Fair this month on Wednesday, April 26th at the CRC. This event will be featuring dozens of resource agencies and employers ready and able to assist our veterans, active duty service members, and families. So please help spread the word for that event. We'd love to get as many veterans and their family members out there.
When is that again, Keith?
April 26th here at the CRC from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The next area here is technical training and assessments. The Burke offers critical skill assessments, resume writing software, typing programs, and on-demand certificate training. Some of our most impactful certificate training programs are LinkedIn Learning and Google Career Certificates. Basically, with each of those programs, we're able to subsidize free learning. Within LinkedIn Learning, 150 residents have access to over 30,000 certificated courses that they can do on their own. It can be a small area to improve their career, anything from soft skills to like leadership or sales or customer service to technical skills that can be used in a variety of industries. On our Google Career Certificate scholarships, we were able to receive a grant from Google to provide 100 scholarships for Moreno Valley residents to get access to career-ready courses to be completed in at least anywhere from 6 weeks to 6 months in on-demand career fields where they come out with certificate ready to work in IT support, data analytics, digital marketing, project management, and a few more. Burke customers can also explore career opportunities by taking our career assessment through Focus 2 software. That's available online, remotely, or at the Burke if they need assistance. And this helps them assess and make a personal action plan for their career by taking a few short quizzes that literally will be about 15 minutes long. So it's a really great opportunity to see where they might want to go in their career. And the last area is our resources for workforce development. A lot of our things get tied into this for resources, but at the center itself, we're equipped with printers, fax machines, and 32 public computers. We also offer free Wi-Fi, high-speed internet access, and all this is used to help them apply for jobs, government benefits, do business workshop training, and all the other trainings that they're able to come do as well. We also have 2 state-of-the-art classrooms that they're able to attend workshops in or trainings in. And many of our programs are available virtually either through our Zoom webinars or on our website as shown here, the screenshot in the background of the slide, with samples of resumes and other worksheets that they can download and connect with other resource partners. And that concludes my presentation. We truly appreciate the support that each of you provide us. Thank you, council members. We do appreciate that very much. Please feel free to stop by the Burke anytime and definitely send residents our way. We would love it for them to follow us on social media. We have some great pages and content on all of LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. And I'm available now for any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Keith. I really appreciate the presentation there and a lot of good information. So at this time, I'll just open the floor here for any council member questions or comments. And I see a request here from Mayor Pro Tem Delgado.
I'll make this quick. In 2022, you said you had 20,000 job openings you assisted. Are those like all for Moreno Valley residents, or do they come in from everywhere? And then are they Moreno Valley jobs? And I know we can't focus in on Moreno Valley jobs, but a job is a job is a job, but right? Or
correct. Yeah, so our primary focus is always Moreno Valley businesses and Moreno Valley jobs. However, being in America's Job Center of California, we definitely attract people from all across the region. So the 22,000 customers that were served were not all residents. That was a mixture of that. We usually have about 75% are residents that attend. And that mixture of 22,000 also includes our business services as well. So it's not just job seekers, it's both. Those are coming in to work on their business plans or start a business as well. Of the 20,000 jobs that we were able to promote openings, they're definitely not all Moreno Valley businesses. Probably about they're probably about 45%. Yeah,
that's still great. I've been to the Burke, and you guys do an amazing job.
Thank you.
Promoting businesses within that area. So thank you. And good presentation.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Next, we have Councilmember Baca Santa Cruz.
Thank you so much for that presentation. I understand why the Burke is such a great asset for the community, and I've been in there quite a few times. In fact, it was, like you said, the only one that was open during the pandemic, and they were also providing masks and sanitizer during the pandemic. So I did send a lot of people there when a lot of places were closed. So I appreciate that. When you said that there's 2 small classrooms that businesses can use, can you tell me what kinds of things that a business would use a classroom over at the Burke for?
Sure, yeah. So mainly hiring events is one of the top things that people come and use it for. And we can do that in a variety of ways of different formats, whether it's just open house, hey, come by, meet us, or we can schedule appointments for them to do specific interviews. They also can come by and use it for staff training. So, for example, we've had some of our major employers come by, and they'll be doing this for their new supervisors. So they get them off the floor at some of the warehouses or maybe out of the restaurant, so that way they're not bugged by customers or their direct reports right underneath them. And so that way they can really focus on that leadership training and that development in an uninterrupted space.
Thank you so much for this presentation, and thank you for all the work that you do at the Burke.
Thank you.
And just briefly, a couple of comments and a couple of questions as well. You mentioned the SBDC, and I think also the SBA comes into the Burke to essentially have almost like office hours, right, for businesses to come in and ask questions. What are the days and times for that again?
So right now we currently have Small Business Development Center is there every Wednesday they schedule appointments from 8 to 5. And so we have on our website access to those appointments where they can schedule that, or they can walk in and we can schedule a future appointment for them as well. Right now we're also waiting, with the MOU we just set up with UC Riverside EPIC program, we'll have some future opportunities for entrepreneurs to set up similar appointments. So date to be determined on the exact days that those will be available.
Excellent, excellent. That is a good segue into my next question. I was going to ask about the MOU that we recently approved, and UCR is my alma mater, proud Highlander up here. So glad to see that, and look forward to see how that program is structured. I know that's going to help a lot because we have a lot of UCR students that live here in Moreno Valley. So that'll be good. You brought up the nonprofit assistance, which is something that I know we've talked about with staff, so that's good. You went over some of the resources that are available for our nonprofits as well. Anybody that's listening at home, if you know someone who has a nonprofit organization or you're thinking about starting a nonprofit, the Burke is there and available for you to answer your questions as well. We know that nonprofits play an important role in the success here in our community, so that is available for all the nonprofits out there. Another important one, I'm a small business owner myself as well, and I know that one of the areas that a lot of new small businesses have an encounter is navigating the tax system. You know, when it comes time to doing their taxes, and for entrepreneurs and small businesses, there's different. It's a very different system, you could say, with all the different things you could take advantage of and do. So I just wanted to highlight that for our small businesses. Again, the Burke is a place you can go to ask questions and get more information about that. On apprenticeships, Keith, you brought that up as well. Really, really happy that we have that in place for example, the trades, right? We have a pipeline for apprenticeships with the trades, which is great. And one of the things I'm hoping that in the future, I know we've talked with staff about this before as well, one thing that hopefully we can expand that pipeline to create new slots for apprenticeships and or internships for more of our local employers. One of the things that we study in political science is a concept called brain drain. Essentially, you have local talent here in Moreno Valley. They go to college, they go to university, they get their degrees, their certificates, and then they leave to other cities, other states. They take their talents with them, and all of that investment goes with them as well. The goal here is to try to retain that talent, right, so that they stay here. And I'm hoping that we can identify opportunities with more of our local employers, whether that's the hospitals like Kaiser or UHS, or some of our Fortune 500 companies, you know, a lot of these industrial buildings, whoever that may be, so that these graduates that go to CBU or UCR can become apprentices at some of our local employers. And hopefully we can find a way to expand that pipeline, but I know you guys are working on that.
Absolutely.
And really, that's about it. I mean, you all are doing amazing work, and, you know, hats off to you again, Mike Lee, you know, under your leadership as well, and the rest of staff running the Economic Development Department and bringing in all these businesses to town. So keep up the good work.
Thank you. Appreciate it very much.
And I don't see any other requests to speak here, so thank you again, Keith. Appreciate the presentation.
All right, my pleasure.
All righty. So we will move now to our second item on the agenda, which is the Animal Shelter Services and Programs. We have an exciting presentation here in just a second, and we do have a report from our Community Development Department.
Thank you, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and council members. The second item tonight will be presented by the Animal Service Division Manager, Steve Freeze.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members. Thank you for having us. Appreciate the invite. I got one real comment to make. Cat's out of the bag. No, actually, the cat is not out of the bag. Cat is, we got two of them back here tonight, a couple of kittens that will be available for foster, and then we also have a puppy that goes up for adoption on the 15th. So what's nice is that right now we have an adoption event that started today. It goes for 2 weeks. For this week, Tuesday through Saturday, next week, Tuesday through Saturday as well, and free adoptions at the animal shelter. And there's a reason for that, and I'll kind of get into that as I get into the slide here. Just to give a little bit of background on the division, we have 24 staff members for 4 operational areas, 8 support staff, which are customer service people, which are animal services assistants, our dispatcher, our admin assistant. We have 8 shelter staff, typically our animal care technicians and their supervisor, as well as our animal rescue coordinator. And soon to be, we hope here probably in May, we're currently under recruitment for a registered veterinary technician, which will interface with our veterinary clinic, which will be really a good thing to have in terms of the care that we provide to the pets that are placed into our care. And then we also have 8 field staff. Often we don't hear a whole lot about our field staff, but those are our 6 animal control officers and our license inspector, as well as their supervisor, are what we call ACOs, animal control officers. Basically, we have 6 of those, and they're working 7 days a week. And they work not only during the day, but they work at night. Of course, they rotate that on-call after hours, and we get dispatched directly through RSO dispatch. So if anything comes up that we consider as a high priority, they're there to respond every day, holidays. They're there to help. Also, with not only being a full-service animal care and control agency, we also have a contract vet staff next door at our clinic, Moreno Valley Community Vet Care, that's run by Dr. Story and Dr. Cowan, came on board in July 2022. And so they're doing a real good job for us. Just in terms of the overall division's budget, we're about 2.7% of the city's general fund. We're about $3.3 million. We drop that down on the net. We bring in about $500,000 annually for revenue. So we're actually a good bargain for the taxpayer in terms of all the services that we provide. A little bit of results coming out of the pandemic. You can see in 2020, adoptions and all positive outcomes. These are all across the board, dogs, cats. A little over 2,000 animals. In 2021, we opened up a little bit more. We went up to 2,200. Not a big increase, but the real big increase was last year, almost 2,900, actually 2,800, just a little bit over. So 31% increase from 2020 to 2022. I like the 31% better than the 27% between 21 and 22. That's why I put it up there. Our animal services activity last year in 2022, almost 10,000 field responses. I know that this year likely we'll go over that number. Just in the months of February and March, we did well over 1,000 responses for both of those, over 2,000 total for 2 months. So we're going to obviously get up to probably between 11,000 and 12,000 responses this year. Over 19,000 shelter visitors, significantly different than what we had when we were closed during the pandemic. We were actually open for appointments, and during those months we would see maybe 200, 250 people come through the facility. Now obviously we're well above that, and that number will continue to rise. And this one I pointed out is special needs pets, and the reason why I bring that up is because when we look back at the history of this particular industry, in the animal welfare industry, a lot of the municipal animal shelters really didn't do much with special needs pets. And I'm talking about pets that come in from the community that have different ailments. It could be an animal that might have been hit by a car and has a broken leg, or it could have skin issues, or it could have other disease issues. What we do is we work with our animal rescue partners. We have over 500 that are registered with us right now, and our animal rescue coordinator reaches out to those folks and asks them if they can come and please provide additional care for those pets outside the shelter, because the shelter is a very stressful place for pets that are coming in from the community. A lot of noise, a lot of different smells. They kind of get mixed up on everything. So if we have a special needs pet, we certainly want to try to get those out to our rescue partners. Grant activity. We're always looking for grants. The ones that are coming up right now are ones that were awarded. And the ones that I really want to kind of talk about right now, American Woodmark, they actually called us and said, hey, can we come down and view your shelter? Can we take a tour? We said, sure. Then they asked us, can you give us a wish list on what you really need? So we did, and it came back where they actually provided that money for kennel tops. The upper right-hand photo there that you see shows tops of kennels in our back row, what we call the D row. The reason why we asked for that is because we have a lot of dogs that like to jump out overnight on a 6-foot gate, and then the next thing you know, when we come in the morning, they've said hello to all the dogs inside the kennels. So that kind of presents an issue for us. So anyway, we got those installed about a week ago, and we took a while because of the production of those, but we finally got them in. And we also did free microchips to the community and also vaccines. And then the other one that I want to point out is the California for All Animals. That's a grant opportunity that came to us this year through UC Davis. And they basically asked what can we do to increase capacity for spay-neuter services. So what we did was we asked for the $81,000 so that we could also do spay-neuter surgeries through our clinic on Saturdays. And so far, so good. We're averaging about 16 per day on those Saturdays. So that's a good thing. In addition to that, that particular grant, we also asked them to fund several mobile spay-neuter units, buses. And we're working with our partners over at Riverside County Department of Animal Services, and have already got a commitment for 2 days. Don't have the dates yet. Those will be determined later, but we're looking for one in the summer and one in the fall. And of course, the Banfield Foundation was one we recently got. That'll kind of tie in with our registered veterinary technician when they come on board. What we've submitted, more spay-neuter money through the California Department of Food and Ag, a little over $50,000 there. Banfield. Now Banfield, the $10,000 we recently, for veterinary equipment, we recently received notice that they did not award that because it was one of the two. So we had to put up the pet vaccine grant first, and in the interim, they were reviewing that. We also put up the one for veterinary equipment, and it was only one out of the two. So we got the first one, didn't get the second one, but we'll still try. And then, of course, the one that we have now that's pending is with California Animal Welfare Funders Collaborative, a little bit different type of a foundation, but we're looking at that to help our costs in the kennel expansion, and I'll kind of get into that a little bit later here. Funding objectives obviously are to reduce pet overpopulation, enhance our vet care, our vet services, as well as the big key, keep the pets with the families, and that's what we want to do. Our officers do that. They carry microchip scanners in their vehicles. They have capability to access our database, and if they pick up a pet in the community, they scan it, and if they get that information, they go and take it back home. If the owner's there, here you go. Don't let it happen again. You know, let's find out what the cause was. Why did your pet get out? And it's back home and it's not in the shelter. So kind of catch and release, I guess. Okay, where are we at? Here we go. So positive impacts of the spay-neuter. Reduces intake of unwanted litters. That in turn minimizes the overcrowding of the facility. And we're going to talk about overcrowding too and why that is happening right now. But spay-neuter makes that positive impact in terms of reducing overcrowding. Also reduces the stress for pets. The less pets you have in a confined area, you know, it's going to be better for those pets. They maintain a healthier environment for those pets, and we want to adopt pets that go out into the community that are healthy. We don't want to send out sick pets. Moreno Valley Community Vet Care. This is run by Dr. Story and Dr. Joey Cowan. Nice part about Dr. Nick is that he's a Moreno Valley resident. He lives here in town. He owns a home. He is from back east. He is one of the better surgeons that I've worked with, so he does a really good job with the pets. We had our long-term provider back last year in February tell us that they were no longer going to provide services to the city. They sold out to a corporation that was located in Florida. And at that time, Dr. Story was working for our provider, and I talked to him, and he was able to help us out during the months of April, May, and June last year by providing spay-neuter services for our shelter pets. We also utilized the Riverside County Department of Animal Services, their spay-neuter bus for one of our spay-neuter events as well. And we also provided during that time limited free vouchers. So he did all of that for us. And in turn, in July 1st, we went out, prior to July 1st, we went out to RFP, and he was the only one that actually responded to the RFP. So obviously he and Dr. Cowan became partners, and they began a full service provider in July. And then just recently in February, they started the spay-neuter surgeries through the grant on Saturdays. So some of the programs that we have, obviously the low-cost spay-neuter program. Trap, neuter, release program says 2,400 plus. That program started in October 2015, and since then over 2,400 cats have been released, actually altered and released back into the neighborhoods where they came from. not able to reproduce, but they're back there and they're alive. Prior to that program, those animals would not be alive. They would be euthanized. So this was an alternative to euthanasia. We have an Adoption Ambassadors Program, which is a program that was launched by the ASPCA back in 2013, 2014. We took advantage of that and we use that with our volunteers. Foster to Adopt is typically for some of our underage kittens and puppies, and I think we have 2 behind me that are qualify for that, both of the kittens back there. They're still with the mother, but we can let them all go with the mom too. That's not a problem. And so that's a cool program to have. We have adoption specials all the time. Every month we have something going on. And our good friends at Media and Communications, Bob comes over every week on a Thursday, and he's out there taking pictures and having a good old time finding a pet that we can put up on the internet. This is the challenge for this year. This is the challenge actually that started last year, particularly in the fall. We always see an uptick of intake in the summer months. Longer days, hotter days, people are out, dogs get out, we have more animals come in. There's a couple of quotes in here, and I'll just kind of identify a couple of them here. These are quotes from agency representatives with the California Animal Welfare Association, which we are a member of. So I get these emails every day. This is a situation where, you know, San Bernardino City Shelter says there's 60 dogs over capacity. That's back in November. Then we have a nonprofit, one that we work with. They had 24 dogs in boarding. They're paying $700 per month. Their facilities are full. Basically, they can't help us out. Large breed dogs from Stockton. That was back in February. I got another email yesterday asking, can you take large breed dogs from Stockton? So another one is interesting is County of Orange. It's a fairly new facility, state of the art. It's about 2-3 years old. It's over in Tustin. They have capacity for 202 dogs, and they're at 264. And they indicate that they know that everybody else is full. So the point is that, you know, when we look at ourselves, we're not the only ones. This is statewide. It's not only statewide, it's nationwide. And so when we look at ourselves, we say, oh, well, where are we at? Well, last Monday, we were 64% over capacity. 100 dogs in those kennels, these are our main kennels, there's 49 of them, and it's designed for 61. And people say, well, how do you get to 61? How do you know it's that full? Well, if we take which is what the ASPCA recommends based on their review of our facility back in 2016, it's 1 dog over 20 pounds in each one of those kennels, each one of those spaces that you see. If they're under 20, you can put 2. So if we took the first row, let's for instance the A row, and you put 2 small dogs in each one of those, and then you put 1 big dog in each of the rest, you can have 61 dogs total out of those 49 kennels. But when you look at the red marks there, A1, A2, and so forth, in the B row there's a couple, anywhere between 3 to 6 dogs are in those kennels. The dark blue are at least 2 large dogs when there only should be 1. And in the light blue, that's where we have 1 dog, which is how they all should be. They should all look blue. So that just kind of gives you an idea, or at least a perspective, of where we're at right now and some of the things that we are a challenge for us. But we're going to meet that challenge, I think. And we're going to meet the challenge under kind of a 2-pronged approach. Shelter expansion proposal under 4 phases, and also the special adoption promotions that we've been doing, again, to minimize the impacts of overcrowding. So phase 1 has already been funded. We're already working on it. We want to take the dog intake, the healthy dog intake, from 12 to 36. Now back in 2015, if you look at the upper right-hand photo, that's what it looked like in 2015. And a year later, through the efforts of the city at that time that funded it, and also the ASPCA that provided funding as well, we put the healthy dog intake in there with a cover. It's got all the needs to take care of those dogs that are coming in from the streets. And we've got 12 kennels there. Stay there between 12, 24 hours. They get looked at by our vet staff. They get looked at by our staff. And then when we have room, we put them into the main population. Again, it's a way to try to minimize disease transmission from dogs that come in and we don't have any known, any information on their vaccination status. Apparently they don't carry wallets, so they don't come in and show us their vaccination cards like we have to with COVID-19. So anyway, that's what we do there. And then, so if you look at the bottom picture, that's kind of just a rendition of a cover that would be used in that space that you see up above in the upper right-hand corner in order to extend that 12 to 24, and that will help us a lot. So this is going to be a big deal for us. The 12 were real big back in 2016. Here we are 7 years later, and we're expanding it now. So this is good. Phase 2 is a block wall. That's perimeter security around the shelter, as well as to make sure that our trucks are safe and our other equipment are safe. It would also, at some point in time, look at a 5,000 square foot shelter expansion, which would give us another 49 kennels just outside the other 49. So we'd have plenty of room. And then, of course, when you do that, you've got to refurbish the air scrubbers and do the ADA upgrades and that sort of thing. So all of that still has to be done, but hopefully in the future, that's something that we can do to meet the challenge. Special adoption events. The one on the left, military discounts, we've been doing that a long time. It's every day of the week that we're open. Same thing for senior discounts. I'm not going to tell you whether I apply for that or not. And the other parts of that is we do, you know, Sweet Paws in February. We just did St. Patrick's Day. The 2-week event we have going on right now is Earth Day pet adoption event. We have others that will be coming up. We also participate in different events. Public Safety Expo, we do that every year since it's its inception. The best picture of the whole thing there is Daryl Brawley, who's our retired field services supervisor, with his dog Mo that he got here from Moreno Valley, got it from the Moreno Valley shelter, and he named it Mo. Then he says, it's got to have a middle name. What are you going to make? What's the middle name? Val. So it's Mo Val. It's the Mo Val dog. Too bad he retired. We'd bring him here tonight, but he's not here anymore. So anyway, these are all the events that we do. Just so you know, not only are the events that are going on right now, we have Cinco de Mayo, which will be the 5th and 6th. It's Friday, Saturday. We'll have an event going on there for special adoptions. Also Mother's Day is in May, so that'll happen for 4 days. Then May 20th, which is a Saturday, is Armed Forces Day. We're going to be doing something then, but I think we also have something else to do, but I'm not going to take the police chief's thunder away on that deal. And then also we just got a notification today from March Air Reserve Base that they have Family Day on the 6th of May, and we've been invited to that to take animals out for adoption. So with that, I'll leave you with a picture.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Steve.
Thank you.
Appreciate the presentation. And from the council, are there any questions or comments? I see a request here from Councilmember Bernard.
For your TNR cat program, so are residents bringing the the cats in, the feral cats in, or is it something that animal control does?
They typically bring them into us. Okay. We do an assessment of them to make sure that they're feral and that they're normal and healthy.
Okay. And so, and that's offered at a reduced cost, because I do know a few residents have reached out to me, because there is a whole community that traps feral cats and brings them back. And so so I wanted to make sure, so that's at reduced cost for them?
That's at no cost.
At no cost, okay. And is there a limit? Is it just until the grant runs out?
We do about 300 to 400 a year, so I don't see a problem right now with that. Again, part of the grant money that we have that's pending right now would go toward TNR, so I think we're in good shape.
Okay, thank you.
Next, we have Mayor Pro Tem Delgado.
I don't have really any questions. You did a great job on that presentation. I've been there, and I didn't know he retired. Mo left. He's gone? They're gone?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Thank you very much for what you do and for what you guys do back there as well. We truly appreciate everything you guys do for our four-legged friends. Some five-legged maybe, but thank you.
And likewise, thank you, Steve, and to your team for all the work that you do. Just the other day, this was last week, I was driving down Cactus, and out of nowhere, this little beautiful dog comes walking across the crosswalk. Like, it knows exactly what it's doing, no owner in sight. And I was just about to call animal services, and someone was already in the truck behind my car. So, you know, you guys do a lot of good work, and, you know, I'm a dog owner myself. So for all pet owners, we know how close our pets are to our hearts. So hats off to you. I know it's not an easy job. You do a lot of hard work out there, and so appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay. I don't see any further questions or comments, so thank you. Thank you once again, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Okay. That was the 2 items that we had on today's agenda. The next item on our agenda is to adjourn this meeting. So we will go ahead and adjourn our study session today at 6:54 p.m. Thank you.